Today I'm working more on my stock market tool. Let me go over what I've done so far and what I'm going to be working over and what I'm going to be working on today. I have two goals. My first goal I did say was this: beat the S&P 500 by a significant margin in all regimes. Um, but I'm gonna add. So I want to beat the S&P 500 by a significant margin. But if the S&P 500 is going down, I don't want to be beating it and losing money. So I want to beat it by a significant margin and make money in all regimes. And so I'm doing this in Python. The second goal I have is to generalize my code so that anybody can use it in Python. Oh, what is the... let's see. Okay, good. I did change the name of the stream. Yeah, so I'm doing this in Python. I want to generalize the code and basically have a Python tool, Python package that anyone can use. Right now, you can find it here. Stock market tool. Yeah, so this is the repository. If you download this, you can run the code, and in like under 50 lines of code, you can define a universe for your stocks. So I guess let me go over this. So this is the outline of what the model is going to look like. So I have data for every day, daily open, high, low, close volume data. And I've isolated a stock universe based on that. And because you don't want to use every ticker that's been... So I have every ticker in my data going back to 2011, but you don't want to use... what am I saying? Oh, you don't want to use every ticker. So things like penny stocks or really low volume stocks are going to throw the model off because this isn't a reliable thing to train on. Also, when you're buying stocks, whatever strategy you develop should ideally work on high volume stocks. And this makes the strategy robust. So if you have a really good strategy that works, you can get funded to run it, and you can get funded with millions of dollars. And so you want it to be really high volume so it's robust when you're using a lot of money, because that's really how you can make money doing this. So that's the first thing is you isolate a stock universe. You then feed this into the model and train the model on some metric. And so I've built the code for the stock universe in the model, and it's all in here. And basically you just follow the instructions here. But in under 50 lines of code, you can create a universe, create a model, and train your model, and then look at the output metrics. So I've been working on this since the beginning of the year. This is my progress that I made in January. Basically, I got a model working. I was getting about 51.5% directional returns, which I thought was good. But then the only strategy I was able to get that was successful was picking one stock per day. And then I tried thresholding this to make it was just barely meeting the criteria, so a Sharpe ratio of 1. And so I tried thresholding it to increase the Sharpe ratio, and I was able to do that. But if I thresholded it at 54% probability of going up, the problem was that if I increased the threshold by 1 to 55%, it wasn't making any picks. So since this thresholding was really fragile, and also it's only picking one stock per day, this was a really fragile and not a robust strategy, and I needed something better. So I needed to rapidly go through and explore different features and targets for the model. The problem was the code base was a big mess. Originally, I was writing a new script every time I changed the universe, changed the model, or implemented a new portfolio strategy. So I had to clean it up, basically clean up the code base, which I did here. That took all of February. I implemented all of these features for the price data. And now... what's the point of that? I guess that's it, really. Yeah, so I implemented all of these features for the price data, and I went through and explored a model. I found a model that was working really well. So the first step, once I had that code written, was just put every feature into the model. But you see the performance was actually worse than the original one I was doing. Um, and I tried all sorts of different things, and I found a model that I thought was working really good. And I went through and tested it robustly, did all these things, tried removing features, identified some correlated features I could remove. I implemented treasury rate features, fundamental features. Yeah, so this is on price data. So there's kind of two ways to. The next big thing which would improve the model substantially was if I added fundamental data. But I only have data going back to 2016, which is going to really crop out my training data. So I decided not to do that. I went through and tested this model a lot. I was getting really good values, beating all of my target metrics by a lot. And so here is where I was on Thursday night, and I thought, okay, I have a really good model. Um, Unfortunately, when I was looking at this Friday, it turns out that my model isn't robust. So I changed how I was splitting the data. I gave it basically a little less training data, and I gave it more test data. And when I did that, you see now the model's not hitting the metrics. It's getting close and hitting some of them, but like information coefficient is below 0.01, so below my goal. Uh, the standard deviation of the information coefficient is larger by about 13 times, so right at the top of my goal. Um, Information coefficient to information ratio daily is 0.08, so that's good. On an annual basis, it's 0.56, so that's good, beating my metric here of 0.3. But then the T statistic is a lot lower, so I'm missing it on. I'm looking at information coefficient, ratio of information coefficient to information, T statistic, and the standard deviation of the information coefficient. And I'm only hitting the metric. I'm barely hitting it on the standard deviation. I'm hitting it on the ratio, but the T statistic is missing by a lot. Information coefficient's missing by a bit. And so what this shows is that the model is neither stable nor does it give sufficient returns. So I need to do more testing of this. And this is the main thing I need to do is implement a walk forward analysis. So I don't want to just train a model and then test it because you see when I'm changing the test training split, the model's changing performance a lot. So rather than do that, you want to walk through the data, train them, say every month or so, train the model, test the model, train the model, test the model, train the model, test the model. And then will get a distribution of these factors. And so that's what I'm really looking for. So I'm going to need to implement all of this in the code and then see how the model does. If it's still performing poorly and isn't a robust model, I'm going to need to go through and add fundamental features. So there's kind of a problem with the fundamental features. Like I said, it only goes back to 2016. And so what that means is that I'm going to need to get some other data. So I can read the SEC Edgar database, but doing that so that it's getting all tickers which have been listed and not just the ones that are currently listed is going to be a headache. I need to do that so I don't have survivorship bias in my data. So this is what I'm working on today is going through this. So yeah, let me highlight this yellow. So and then I'm going to try to add this to my code. So now I'm trying to figure out, is combinatorial purged cross validation something that implements a walk forward analysis? And then I need to add the chat so that I can see it. I don't want to miss any chats. Okay, and then real quick, let me put a comment into the chat. saying please subscribe. So yeah, what really helps me out obviously is if you subscribe, if you like the stream, if you go to the GitHub I showed here, the link's in the description. If you star the repository, watch it, and follow me on GitHub, and also join the Discord because I want to talk about interesting stuff in there. So yeah, so let's. Oh, this is laser stuff. Okay, where the hell? Okay. I think, yeah, I can exit out of that. No, it's not a walk forward analysis. Oh, okay, so this is better than walk forward analysis. So I'll take this guy off. It treats different blocks of time not as a sequence of events, but as a collection of isolated market regimes. It divides your data set into n blocks. It then trains on 4 blocks and tests on 2, testing every possible combination. Wait, isn't training on future blocks to predict past data leakage? In standard k-fold cross-validation it is, but in purge CV the algorithm automatically deletes the temporal boundaries between block 4 and 5 and between block 2 and 3. Because financial features describe mathematical relationships between variables rather than absolute dates, a model can safely learn the mechanics of a 2022 bear market to trade a 2015 flash crash. Okay, whatever. Why CPCV destroys it? Yeah, obviously it's not orderly in time. Okay, so here is the code for which contains my model class. What do I need to do? Oh, I forgot to put the chat in. Oh, I have to sign in. Oh man, it's making me verify on my phone. Okay, just a sec. I have to go to the YouTube app. Okay, good. Now here's the comments. What the hell? Okay, cool. So let's get down to business. What do I need to do? Which methods do I need to change to implement CPCV, and do I need to add any new methods? Okay, and I have to go to the bathroom really quick, so I'll be right back. All right. Sorry that took so long. Um, so I'm back. Uh, so let's get down to business. I'm trying to incorporate the CPCV strategy. I need to change everything that relies on a single train test split. Okay, well that makes sense. Let me pull up some music. Okay, so I want to know I'm the king, the Leon, the Lewis. We on the truest. Hey, teacher, tell me how do you respond to students and refresh the page and rebid the energy? Sorry for the 19 months you still visit me. The plan was splitting data, training, predicting, and evaluating. Just kids, no parents. In the sky filled with herons, I saw the devil in a Chrysler LeBaron. And woke up back in Paris. Could we get much higher? So high. Alright, so let's go in. Add here. Alright. Could we get much higher? Yeah, so I need to install it. I won't never ever let you live this down, down, down. The devil answers and eventually answers to the call of all them ballin'. Get caught with 30 rock the cop, look like Alec Baldwin. Face it, Jerome, get more time than random. Ain't tell me that it's random, but we stay winning. Alright, so I'm going to make a new class called Advanced Models. A new file. Homie, school finished. They just stole your dreams. You know who did it. The way the government treats AIDS, I won't be satisfied till all my niggas get it. Get it? I'm saying I won't never ever let you live this down, down, down. For a new religion. Smiling, they think they got me. Okay, let's add a new test script. Okay, then I need to import it. Data slash models slash model 12. And then let's put the debugger in so we could look at it. Down, down. Hop Tim's has lived in. Oh, already did that. Mm. All right, so let's. So that's not working. That's okay. Um. So what's it say about this? So do I change here in the hyperparameter tuning? Hey, 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 I'm living in the 21st century. I guess every superhero needs his theme music. We the ones chosen. Classification. World scene, in a 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 world scene. But where even does it use Huber? I don't think it's using Huber. Needed time alone with my own thoughts. Objective. Oh, okay, yeah. World scene, in a 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 world scene. Now this will be a beautiful death. Jumping out the window, letting everything go, letting everything go. World seeing, and in a world seeing, and in a world seeing, world seeing, world seeing. Alright, let me look at this. Train production model. World seeing, and in a world seeing, and in a world seeing, world seeing, world seeing. So what's the problem? The lights, turn off the lights in here, baby. Alright, so this will help. Shooting stars, all of the lights, all of the lights. Oh. If you want it, you can get it for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. Something wrong. I hold my head. MJ gone. Dead. Okay. I made it home. I'm almost there. I'm on my way up the stairs. To my surprise. Cop lights, flashlights, spotlights, street lights, all of the lights, all of the lights. Okay, so then in advanced models, get rid of this crap. Let's just import it. I want you to see everything. I want you to see all of the lights. Her mother, brother, grandmother. I'll be more supportive. Baby, please. Strobe lights, street lights, all of the lights, all of the lights. All of the lights, turn up the lights in here, baby. Yeah. Okay, then we could say showing the test here, and am headed home. I'm headed home. Cross the line, and I'll let God decide. So I am headed home. I'm so appalled. I got dogs that'll chew a fucking hole through the wall. Housekeeping. I mean, goddamn, one time, let it be a bad bitch sweeping. Hey, good morning, Christos. um, thanks for tuning in. Let me show you where I'm at really quick. I didn't know the last time you watched, but basically, I guess I'll go way up. Uh, uh, yeah, this is the first model result. It wasn't very good. I needed to make something more robust, so I reorganized the code base. I got what I thought was a really good result here. But then I was looking through this. I thought I was done testing. I felt like everything was robust. I thought, okay, let me go through and try one more thing. I'm going to change around the data split. And then when I changed how I was splitting the data, suddenly I went from beating all the metrics by a substantial margin to only beating a couple of the metrics. And the information coefficient isn't as high as I wanted anymore. So now I'm doing some more complicated testings of the model. I'm doing a walk forward analysis. So instead of just splitting and training and evaluating the model once, I'm going to do a different model for each year, train on the previous few years. So if I use 4 years for training, 1 year for validation, things are starting in 2013. So that means, let me think, 2013, 13, 14, 15, 16 for training, 17 for validation, 18 for tests. So then I could do 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 25. Yeah, so the walk forward analysis, I'll do 7 models and then compare them, look at the distribution. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So run walk forward analysis returns 2 things. So we have predictions and metrics is here. And then I want to say in model 12, I'm getting the universe. So I'll say that. Okay. So I'm passing that. Target is just equal to the target. Features is equal to the features. One hand in the air if you don't really care. Folder path is / data / models / model 12 _ walk forward. Target type is regression, train years is 4, val years is 1, test years is 1, and trials, I'll use 40. Should make it a little bit faster than 50. Oh, job seeking. Well, some weird stuff happened with my job. So I lost my job and then I got my job back like 3 days later. So I'm not looking for jobs anymore. But basically, I want to do physics research, but there's not much money in that. And so my goal right now is to get this working and make money on this, and then I could get people to invest in this model and get a lot of money to run this. And the typical thing is if you have something that you can prove worked over a year, so I'm going to use my own money on it, but if you have something that you can prove worked over 6 to 12 months, you can get people to give you money to run the model, like quant firms and stuff. And so they start you out at like $1 to $10 million trading. And then you get to keep 20% of the profits. So if the model's giving 20% profits, and I have $1 million I'm trading on, that's $200,000 a year, and I would get to keep 20% of that, so $40,000 a year. Now that's not much, but if your model's really successful, they'll scale you up all the way up to like $100 million. And so then, instead of 40K per year, I'd be making $4 million a year, which is obviously a ton of money. So somewhere in there I want to be. So yeah, that's my goal with this model is, make money with this. So um, let me think. Is this good? 40 trials. So this is going to do 7 models. So this will take quite some time to run. But so what will take longer, the walk forward or the CPCV model? So n-folds is total number of blocks to divide it into. Oh, and then you're doing a combination. So if we have 6 blocks, let's see. We could just ask the AI. If I have 6 blocks for the CPCV analysis. Actually, let me figure that out in a sec, because since this is going to take a while to run, let's just run it. So Model Explorer, we're going to turn on test walk forward. Then I'll say Python 3 Model Explorer .py. So this is going to train. Oh, I need to go into Explorers and then run it. Why we argue anyway? Oh, I forgot it's summertime. Put your hands to the constellations. The way you look should be a sin. You're my sensation. Alright, comma. Satan, Satan, Satan. Fill up the sky. You got green in your eyes. I can see it in your mind. Alright, so now I need to figure out this error. I ordered the jerk. She said you are what you eat. I always loved a sense of humor, but tonight you should have seen how quiet the room was. The Leah Cone, D.I. Ohm, that's D.I. Ohm, not D.I. homie. Could it be more Tony? You love me for me, could you be more phony? To me this evening. Cat got your tongue? I ordered the jerk. She said you are what you eat. Yeah, this is kind of a confusing error. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick and grab a Dr. Pepper. I'll be right back. I ordered the jerk. She said you are what you eat. An internal error has occurred. Okay. No one's watching. I need a coffee. I'll be right back. Run away from it, baby. Run away. And if that to get crazy, run away. Baby, I got a plan. Run away as fast as you can. Alright, let's figure out what the issue is. In module from clean analysis, import everything. I might just have to reinstall this as a pip. So I'm gonna go here, pip install -e dot. Do I have to do a dot? Yeah. -e dot. Bum, bum, bum. Let's have a toast for the douchebags. Let's have a toast for the assholes. Every one of them that I know. I'm a good girl and still be addicted to them hood rats. Run away, and if that to get crazy. Get crazy. Can't she just run away? Baby, I got a plan. Run away as fast as you can. 24/7, 365. Pussy stays on my mind. Now pick your next move. You can leave or live with it. It could buy a dream with that motherfucking top off. Split and go whiz. Back to wearing knockoffs. Hat, knock it off. Neiman's chop it off. Let's talk over my ties. Waitress, top it off. Hoes like vultures wanna fly in your Freddy loafers. Never seen Versace sofas. Comes with a price tag, baby. Face it. You should leave if you can't accept the basics. In a ballin' nigga matrix, invisibly set, the Rolex is faceless. I'm just young, rich, and tasteless. P. Never. Oops. I put that in the chat. And I know it did damage, 'cause the look in your eyes is killing me. I guess in you ain't an advantage, 'cause you could blame me for everything. And I don't know what I'ma manage if someday you just up and leave. What I don't like the most. Baby, I got a plan. Run away as fast as you can. All right, let's see if this works. Have you lost your mind? Bang, 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 bang. Have you lost your mind? Streamlit requires No crashes so far. Okay, let's see if, because it's crashing because all these old things. So condas make environment. Game. You bitch for sure. For sure. You finna see a mogul get emotional. All of the lights. I heard the whole thing. No. I'm up in the city. I'm up in the world. Was in the city. I'm up in the world. I just want to get the walk forward working. Well, maybe this is gonna work. I'm gonna put this up here, and what I want to look at oh yeah, so I have heard about, I saw an article saying Trump and Netanyahu are seeking exit from the Iran war. My analysis is that Iran will not stop the war unless the US gives huge concessions that it is not willing to give. Assess this assumption and provide all relevant information. I'm up in the world. Whoa, it's working. Wow, finally. Oh. Alright, so let me say here, when I run my code, I get a lot of numpy errors, which I don't care about. How do I suppress all error output in my script? No, but if I'm training on 2011 to 2015, that's just going to give it 2 years of training data. So train start is current year. So pretty sure it shouldn't start in 2011. Oh, March 1st, 2011. So cool. But I still don't think that's going to work right. Huh. You just don't cross and he crossed it. Honestly, I'm exhausted. Oops. And it will begin on the first complete year. For example, I'm using 2011. The data starts in March 2011. I want to exclude 2011 from the data set, and I don't know, I'll leave that for later actually. I think that's fine for now. You could just say a rhyme and wouldn't have to worry about one of your people dying. It's a different ball game. You call names and you ain't just rapping. Magazine's how we stabbed him. Fuck it, 50, smash him, mash him, and let him have it. Who answers phones at his desk has an erection for me. Tries to blow the dust off his mic and make a new record. Was through this publication. Okay. Let's look for tune params. And then we got a mountain, a rapper up in a chorus. None of my people heard of murdered. It ain't words that I could think of a perfect way to word it. Is an integer, it should default to 50. And then here we could say n trials is equal to n trials. So if I don't specify that, it will give 50. Otherwise, I can specify it. There used to be a time when you could just say a rhyme and wouldn't have to worry about one of your people dying. To my one current viewer, let me know if you have any song recommendations. You know she knows. Babe, don't make a sound. 2 a.m. love, gotta keep it down, keep it down. Alright, let's wait for this to run. Now I'm gonna look at the Iran conflict. So what's Iran demanding? They want reparations. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, is they're demanding things. Recognition of Iran's legitimate rights, reparations for war damage, and binding international guarantees. Yeah. On my, on my, on my senses. I've been waiting. Come here, baby. I did do that. On my senses. Um, Iran's been incredibly consistent. Country's not seeking a ceasefire. Yeah, so Trump wants out, obviously. Netanyahu wants it to go on forever. What could break the deadlock? A unilateral U.S. ceasefire. The Stimson Center argues Trump's best move is neither to escalate nor de-escalate, but to disengage, declaring mission complete. Okay, we'll wait for that. See how it does. Um, when the cost of fighting the Houthis began to outweigh the benefits, Trump negotiated a bilateral ceasefire that did not include Israel. The U.S. stopped fighting and called it a win. Analysts argue a similar structure could work with Iran. The key insight here is that Trump has shown he could walk away when strategic calculus shifts independently of Israel. Where you're right, Iran's stated conditions are genuinely incompatible with what any U.S. administration would offer, especially this one. The new supreme leader seems even harder line than his father, making internal Iranian pressure for moderation less likely. Tehran has publicly signaled it will only accept a deal, including significant U.S. concessions such as reparations, sanctions relief, and a firm pledge against renewed hostilities. I gotta make sure this isn't gonna cause a problem. But at least it's going through and doing the studies, so um yeah, I'm kind of tired and no one's watching, so I'm gonna end this stream, and I'll do another one later today where I have the results of this walk forward analysis. So that's it for now. Have a good day. Adios. This isn't gonna cause a problem, but at least it's going through and doing the studies, so um yeah, I'm kind of tired and no one's watching, so I'm gonna end